In this problem, we are given a function f of x is x over 2 minus 8, which supposedly converts the dress size in one country into a dress size in another country, but conceptually doesn't matter for this problem. You just need to find the inverse function. So first let me explain conceptually what we're looking for, and then I'll show how to compute the equation for the inverse function. So what a function does is, in our context, it takes x values, it does something to these x values, and it produces outputs, let's call them y values. So our function f of x equals x over 2 minus 8, we can write as y equals x over 2 minus 8, just a slight change in notation. So it takes x as an input, it produces y as an output. Now, the inverse function always works in the opposite direction. So if f transforms x values into y values, then the inverse of f is going to translate y values into x values. And with this context in mind, all you have to do to find an equation of an inverse function is to take the expression for the original function, this one, and solve it for x. So what I want to do is I want to express x as a function of y. So let's do this. This is a simple linear equation with respect to x. And the first step is to add 8 to both sides. So you'll get y plus 8 is equal to x over 2. And then the next step is to multiply both sides by 2. So we achieved the goal of solving the expression for x. But now what it means is that the inverse function, which takes y as an input and it produces x as an output, is given by this expression. And the only one last step to do is to change notation. Notice, the problem wants you to write the inverse function as a function of x, yet we obtain the answer of this as a function of y. But it makes absolutely no difference. It's just a matter of which symbol you use to represent what the function does. If the function takes y and makes it into y plus 8 multiplied by 2, then if it takes an x, it makes it into an x plus 8 multiplied by 2. So the final answer in the x notation is simply 2 times x plus 8. And this is our answer. This is the inverse function.